Hello YouTube and welcome to another Throwback Thursday. It's one of those games this time that I played once and well, basically never again after that for various reasons. In this case because I didn't really like it, but that's Tomorrow's War, a game by Osprey. We played it in 15mm back then, and I will be joining Patrick and face up against Cookie, which is a nickname for Johan at the club, in a scenario written by Willie, our local Fidel Castro, ex-president. So the scenario basically went like this. The Anzac, being us, needed to go take a picture of a missile system the Chinese are deploying. But the Chinese didn't know we were coming just for that purpose and think it's a border skirmish. So we had at the beginning 2 squads of recon troops, colonial marines, consisting of a 4-man squad with a saw and a 5-man squad also with a saw, and the scanner for the picture taking. So in turn 3 the regular troops would show up in their APC, damn you Bishop, and consist of a medium anti-tank team, a squad of 5 with a saw and RPG, and a squad of 4 with a saw and an RPG, at the diagonal opposite corner of where the colonials needed to be. So facing us were 4 squads of Chinese, each consisting of 6 men and including a saw and an RPG. Though Cookie did shuffle his support weapons around a bit with an APC with a bigger gun and thicker armor than ours, and in turn 5 they will receive a second one of those APCs to be deployed anywhere they like at their table edge. So though the quality of both sides was even, the Chinese on top of us were outmanning and outgunning us, and they were better armored. So which benefits did we have? The recon troops were represented with counters, including 2 dummy counters, which need to be spotted before being able to fire it upon. So in doing the numbers in my head, and since that means to spot usually 5+, stopping enough at 7 within a building and in a cover, this would be like sheer impossible for the Anzac to do something. Combined with the scenery consisting of ruins which didn't block line of sight, tipsy topping from wall to wall wasn't an option either. So, anyone up for a suicide mission? But Lady Luck wanted to be invited to a barbecue instead of having a bowl of rice for dinner. So with an average of 50-50 chance of spotting counters, Cookie saw the squad that had taken the pictures on the very last turn of the game, taking down 3 of the 5, but after passing morale they jumped in their APC and drove off, so we had mission completed. But, I hear you ask, how did you pull that off? Well, we didn't. In all honesty, there wasn't a master plan, no fancy maneuvers and no genius strokes. In Tomorrow's War you draw cards if rolling a 1 on a reaction test, and our plan was desperate. Just reacting to whatever and hoping that the enemy rolled lots of 1s and drew lots of bad cards. Talk about a great plan. But it worked miracles. We had over the course of the whole game 1 card drawn, and this resulted in the house catching fire, forcing one of his squads out, but more importantly the smoke did block line of sight, allowing the camera team to stay behind it, take the picture and run off. So our opponent drew about 7 or 8 cards, resulting in lots and lots of bad stuff. House no longer providing cover, where we had 2 squads in. An NCO was killed by his own man, causing the squad to tail it off the table. All his morale over the table was lowered from D8 to D6. The freshly arrived second APC right in front of the camera team took off again without being able to do anything. So on the plus side, he did have his men make an adult movie that became hit on the internet and granted him 3 victory points. But we didn't beat him at all. He did it for himself with the help of the Fog of War deck. So we scored 11 victory points, 2 times 3 for the stuff that ran off and 5 for the objective, and he scored 6, being the elimination of a recon squad and then the movie filmed. So my impression of the rules, I'm gonna be honest, I enjoyed the game and winning made it a sweet cherry on the cake, as it was against all odds, but I have a bit too many issues with the system itself, so it'll have to depend if I get money left and space in the backpack before I bring something from Salute. You will see that, well, how that went in a few weeks, because that's gonna be one of the next Throwback Thursday episodes. The reaction system, squads seem to be able to fire too much and far too many dice if they are with about 6 to 8 members. Here was a situation, for example, my recon squad fired on a Chinese squad who reacted. Then my partner said my Overwatch fires on those reacting Chinese and they react to that as well. Now apparently this is with -1 firepower, but since that is on the total dice and not per model, this checked out an awesome load of firepower in two totally opposite 180-degree directions. So the fact that we're better armored in a building and in cover meant we couldn't shoot anyone out of the squad with the first shots. They had taken down 2 Marines from a 4-man squad due to winning the reaction roll. So I fight with 3 dice, being 1 Marine, 1 Saw, and +1 for the optimum range. So that could have been topped to maximum 5 dice. So let's do the math. As they first fire with 6 dice, +2 by 2 for having 2 RPGs, +1 for optimum range at the recons, that's 11 dice, and the other squad, they are still rolling 9 dice, -1 for non-optimum and -1 for the firepower. So that's 20 dice shot off in one phase by 6 models. Well, personally I thought that was a bit over the top. What I also didn't like was that the Saw has less firepower than the RPG. Willie can argue what he wants, we did in a friendly manner, but I ain't buying a Saw firepower 1 versus an RPG firepower 2. Sure, that missile does more damage if you're hitting home, but that Saw is laying down an awful lot of bullets in the game if it takes to reload the tube and aim it. I know this is because the rules determine firepower the potential damage and not by the rate of fire, but still this seems just plain silly to me. So this essentially means that it's better to go to war holding a 17th century blunderbuss, as the hellshot can cause more potential hits and dirtier wounds than haul around the P90, who impacts all roughly on the same spot, even though that bus fires once and the P90 has empty, well, a couple dozens of bullets by then. So I don't think it's a bad rule system at all. But it adds a certain degree of realistic thinking to a game, but I'm not willing to proclaim it a game of all games that rules them all. Maybe if I can read the book a bit more, which I never did, of course, and get a chance to study it really, I might sway over a little, but I'll doubt this game was something for me. And well, now speaking more than 10 years later, I never looked back to it, so nah. It wasn't for me. I didn't sign up for the campaign they want to run, but well, that's about it. My ideas on tomorrow's war, 15mm. Well, hope you enjoyed the pictures that I took as well, and well, see you next time for more Throwback Thursday. Bye bye.